Hey everyone. So I thought I will answer a question that literally hundreds of people have asked me since joining the community. And I understand a lot of people who are joining the highly paid content writer course are very new to this field and they don't understand the intricacies of what goes into being a highly paid content writer. So the question is very foundational. What exactly is content writing? And I know there are a lot of ways that people perceive content writing, and there are nuances within content as well. I mean, there is a significant difference in writing content versus writing copy. But it is to answer the question simply, anything that you see around you which is sending you a message is content. Now, it has different formats, and there are different ways that you can get into the system and start creating content for people. But what does it take to be a content writer, and how does it pan out as a career is what I'm trying to answer in this video today. So most of the people who come into the community think that to be a content writer, they have to start their own blog and then they have to direct traffic to that blog, build up enough interest in the blog so people start paying them to place ads or start earning affiliate commissions and so on and so forth. But that's not all what content writing is. Yeah. If you have taken my 30-day email writing course, you might have, sorry, if you've taken my 30-day email course on content writing, yes, bloopers have happened with everyone. Um, so if you've taken that course, there was one particular email that I sent out which sort of broke this down into what is the different type of content writing that you can do. So yes, creating your own blog, writing about a topic that you are passionate about is one way to become a content writer. But I would call that part of writing as becoming a blogger or an influencer. Now you can write, these kind of articles or blogs on a WordPress or a Medium or those kind of sites and build following there. Or you can also do them on LinkedIn or on Instagram or Facebook and build your following there. So effectively, what you're doing in this type of content writing is writing about something that you are passionate about, writing about something that really appeals to you at a fundamental level, building a following, influencing people's thoughts, opinions, etc., and building a community. Then you later find out ways to monetize that community. So that is one type of content writing which I feel does have a long gestation period, doesn't work for all, everybody. Uh, and it of course requires like a lot of dedication and a lot of consistency in the way that you produce content which relates to your target audience. Yes. So that is something which falls more under the digital marketing kind of arena because you're also uh, more than creating content. Your objective also becomes how do I drive more traffic to this website? Because unless you have people in the community, they're not going to, I mean, then you're talking to an empty room, right? They don't know that you have content out there, and to reach out to them, you have to create ads, you have to like build some interest, you have to be seen in forums, etc., and so on and so forth, right? But yes, that is one aspect of content writing which you do for yourself and you become a content creator. The second part, and a lot of people do that, is also to write for magazines and articles. And they sort of, send in their work, topics and stories that the magazines might want or online publications might want, and they occasionally get paid for it, or they get the article published under their name, so they get a byline for it. This also like falls a little bit under influence because if you write for sites like Momspresso or any of these content aggregator kind of sites, like sites have already built a community and they just want user content to keep the momentum and interest going. Uh, Typically the payout from these kind of gigs is very low, if at all. But you do get exposure and you do get to practice your writing and you get to see what is it that people want to hear from you. So these are great testing grounds, but I don't think that, this is a way to find really high paying work. But yes, when you write um, for, these kind of magazines, etc., that is also you being uh, a content writer. You can also, write an ebook, you can write a book for yourself and you can sell it. And that's also, you're doing content writing. But all of this that I've talked about, be it your book, be it writing for magazines, be it writing your own blog, that is what you're doing for yourself. And it is my personal opinion that while all of this falls under content writing, it is also uh, not very high paying and very long gestation. And it takes a lot of effort to just, make some decent money out of it. Of course, if you become an influencer, if you're able to crack that code, yes, you could definitely enter the big leagues. But it also depends on a lot of other factors, digital marketing being a very important part in that, right? The kind of content writing that I talk about, and which is where the high paying part comes in, is you writing for on behalf of someone else. So basically, you being a ghostwriter, not just for books, but for a lot of different type of content, right? And before we go there, I want to just talk about what are the different types of content that you can write, right? We talked already about you can write long form content, which is either books or ebooks or reports or articles or white papers or blogs, which are typically ranging anywhere from 500 words to sometimes, if you exclude the books part, even 5,000 words, right? And if you add books to it, it could be even 30,000, 80,000, those kind of word lengths. But that's the long form content, right? Then you have short form content where you're talking about your social media posts, you're talking about emails, you're talking about, the tiny snippets that you see under a YouTube video. You can, the little news bites or WhatsApp messages, all of those fall under short form content. Then you also have micro copy, which is, those messages that pop up on your phone or your desktop from different brands. That order this from us today, those kind of things. That's also micro copy, which is very, contextual and relevant for people to just immediately see something and start thinking about it, right? So that's also content. It falls into different buckets. But content writing is not just writing. Yeah, a lot of different types of multimedia content that you see out there also has, some element of writing behind it. So all these videos that you see out there today, there has some bit of scripting and storytelling that has gone on in the background, and content writers are also involved in that aspect of, creating these different types of content. Even podcasts have some bit of scripting, webinars, etc. So if you are writing on behalf of someone else as a content writer, there is massive, massive scope and opportunity for you to really earn good money. Um, and to extend that a little bit, right? Now, yes, there are these different types of content. Yes, you want to be a freelance, ghostwriter for people. But what does that actually entail, right? And coming back to the question, what do you do as a content writer? Uh, so your job as a content writer is, first of all, to keep your opinions to yourself. Okay. You have to be very careful when you're writing for someone else because you have to write in their voice and you have to write for their readers or their viewers, right? Their target audience. So your opinions cease to matter. You have to imbibe the persona of the person that you're writing for, and therefore you have to be very versatile. And then as a content writer, first you spend time with your client to understand what is it that they want to write about. What is their message? Why do they want to talk about something like that? And get a brief from them, right? So your job number one, get the right brief from the client. The second part, the second step of delivering as a content writer is to do your research. Once you've understood what your client wants and you've looked over all the material that they have sent you, then it is time to go and research online to see what is it that other people are saying about it. Can you find any data points? Can you find any stories? Can you find any examples that are going to make the content that you're writing better? Yeah. So that's step two, that you research about what you need to write, the topic, etc. Once you have done the research, the third part of your job as a content writer is to actually write out whatever that is, right? Is it an email? Is it a social media post? Is it a blog? Whatever the format of that content, you will sit and write out a first draft. Then you will polish it, make it better, include all the research that you've done. Do a fact check that you're not saying something which is not true in what you've written. Make sure that the content that you've written is not plagiarized, which means it's not copy pasted verbatim from any place, that you're not just blindly copying someone's idea, but you're actually creating original stuff. And also that if you've taken the help of ChatGPT or any of the other AI tools, your content is not getting flagged by any AI detectors. So you will write it, you will edit it, and then you will check it for all of these issues before sending the first draft to your client. Then the client will review it, send the feedback, and you will review whatever the client's feedback is. You'll incorporate that into your article and work on it till the client is satisfied with the output. And that's when your job ends, right? So you're taking the brief, doing the research, writing, editing, polishing, etc. Fact checking, sending it to the client, getting their feedback, incorporating the feedback, and finally sending out the final clean draft to the client that they can use. So this is what you do as a content writer. Now, a lot of times people also ask, how do I find clients as a content writer, right? Where are these companies or where are these people who are paying me to write stuff for you? So just take a look around you, right? Everything that you see online that a company is posting or an individual who is in a higher position is posting, um, any brand, or any publication is posting, somebody is sitting and writing that content. And those are the people who are content writers. Now, they can be hired full time or they could be freelancing as well, right? So that's your choice as a content writer, that you can make a career choice that you want to work as a content writer for a company full time or do you want to do a freelance gig. Both of these career options are available to you. The requirement is that you write good quality content. So literally every company in under the sun needs content writers. So finding clients isn't the big challenge. Becoming a good content writer is the bigger challenge. And that's what I try and, help people get to in my 8 week, intensive program. Try and tell them those nuances of what's going to make them a better content writer than 99% of the folks out there. Because unfortunately, and it's a very harsh truth, today most people think just because they can string two words in a language together and they can make a sentence, that makes them a content writer. But no, becoming a content writer is much more than just knowing how to write in a language. Yes, that is a foundational skill. You need to have your grammar in place, you need to have your vocabulary, a basic vocabulary in place, but just having those things doesn't make you a content writer. Yeah. But I hope today's video answered these questions in terms of what is content writing, who can be a content writer, what do you need to deliver, to as a content writer to your client. If you have any other questions that you want me to answer, just drop them in the comment box below and like and subscribe to this channel so you can keep updated on the kind of videos that I will be doing going forward. And yes, if you haven't joined the 30-day program yet, the link to that is also in the description. So you can sign up for that and be a part of the Content Collective and join the Highly Paid Writers Club. Thank you.